good, everybody in Chicago? We are here at IO Interactive's showcase here in LA at Summer Games Fest 2025. I'm here with folks from the Hitman team. Let the folks know at home who you are and what you do on the team.
I am Martin Ansdal, and I am a senior level designer at IO Interactive, and I'm currently working on the Elusive Targets.
How's it been to kind of work on a title like this?
I always call it like the crown jewels of Danish game design. Hitman is such a unique IP. That's why it's been able to beat Father Time, right? That's why it's still here. The World of Assassination has been going for 9 years now, since 2016. And we still have so much stuff we want to do, and people are there for it because they can't get it anywhere else.
One of the things that I've always loved about the game has been the vast array of locales and different kinds of targets and different reasonings behind and the kind of mini stories that come along with that. Give me a little bit of information about like how you're thinking about the evolution of that.
Hitman it has that promise because it's about saying yes to the player. There's many games that maybe want to gate off the player or like invisible wall the players, like, oh no, you should do this or you should do that. And for us, it's like a design through line that we always say yes to the player. And I think that promises a kind of fidelity that is like, honestly, it's like mind-blowing. Like as you add systems to the World of Assassination, we pay it off. Like if you have an idea, you want to kill the target this way, it's our duty, I think, as designers.
It's interesting because that kind of understanding is one you see in kind of open world games now, where it's like, if you can see it, you can go to it. Yep. But in Hitman, it's like, if you want to kill someone in a certain way, you can.
Obviously, it's impressive that you can go anywhere, but that's locomotion. Mechanically, it's much more difficult to imagine what the player will think and then being like, yeah, and I'll make it happen for you in a really fun way, right? That's the promise of Hitman.
Has it gotten any harder outsmarting the player?
Well, it's definitely gotten harder to keep the target alive. To me, it's not about controlling the experience. We're co-creating the experience. You are as much a part of it as the player as I am as the designer. You see like speedruns where someone will kill my target that I spent a year on making or whatever, and they'll kill them in like 2 seconds. To me, I'm like, good for you, good, like, because you probably played it a bunch to get to that level of mastery. When missions come out, like I'm lurking, I'm watching all the videos. I'm like, what will they do now?
One of the things that I've loved is seeing the Hitman series grow in so many different ways in terms of scale and platform, which has been really cool. We got another chance to hear more information about not only co-op missions now kind of being a part of the series. We've seen VR become a new layer of it, and now even mobile being a new part of that space. How is that changing the way you're thinking about design as well, with having those new implementations in the mix?
Our engine team, the people who developed Glacier, they deserve a big pat on the back for what they've done. And it's always been like a vision for the company. Like we need to be on everything.
How are you thinking about the kind of landscape for what feels like a platform and not just a game? How are you all looking at the kind of future of Hitman in that respect?
We're so privileged to have made those decisions like before 2016 to build World of Assassination in that way. That is a choice that maybe wasn't always popular or understood. And over time, it has made the studio survive tough times. And now it is a really tough time for the industry. And we are really strong because good decisions were made. I'm very happy to be working at IO. And I think the people who made those decisions way back when and stuck it out through all the hard times, they should feel very galvanized. You could see the fruits of that in all the other things we announced, right?
Even more so, the co-op stuff, I'm super excited for, because I'm like, oh man, now we get a chance to tackle these missions with more people and have a partner in crime, literally. How's it feel to be able to kind of move into a space where co-op missions are going to be a thing?
At IO, for years, that's been like a desire. And that's also the thing when you develop your own tech, the tech has to get there. I don't know if you remember, we had Sniper game mode, which had 2 players. That's like multiplayer coming into Hitman at a trial stage. And then as the technology matures, I think everyone at the studio has been like waiting for that moment to like, now we can do it.
Well, I'm going to steal you at some point because we had a mission Astronomy had a mission inside the game a couple of years ago, which was a huge like bucket list thing for me. And I'm a terrible builder of missions. So I want to steal you at some point to be able to help me make a really good mission.
Yeah.
Thank you again for spending some time. If there's any last minute things you want to share with the folks at home, what would it be for the folks kind of watching and checking out the game?
You know, it's not the last one. I'm going straight back to work. There's going to be more elusives. I think we announced 2, but we didn't announce who they were.
Yeah.
And obviously I can't do that, but I can just say, we're going to keep delivering those experiences that you can only have in Hitman.
Well, everybody, we're here. We're hanging out at SGF here at the IO Interactive Showcase. We have more stuff coming to you from the show. And Martin, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Appreciate the time. And everybody else, we'll see you soon. Peace.